Hey. At 3 a.m. this morning, they featured this very item on 10 Faves. We do that each morning at 3 a.m, picking 10 of the best items that are going to be featured throughout the day and then featuring them at that 3 a.m. show. This, again, I saw this whole concept or this whole show is talked about as seen on TV. It is known as the Air Hawk Pro Cordless air compressor. I mean, to you and I, looks like an electric drill, right? A rechargeable electric drill. Same concept, only it's a 12-volt rechargeable air compressor for $59.95. Oh, by the way, it's got a built-in digital gauge as well to know how much pressure you're putting into the car, putting into the RV, putting on the bike, Tell me about this. Talk about a time of year where I seem to be blowing up bike tires every second day. And of course, then I have, look at, isn't he gorgeous, this big croc.
Oh, I thought you were looking at me.
I tell you what, that's another good one. I mean, pool toys.
Well, okay, so it's spring, summer's right around the corner. If you've ever had to blow something up this big while the kids were waiting,
oh, man,
you're gonna absolutely love the Air Hawk, okay? Take a look at it. This is the whole package you're getting right here. This is the most amazing inflator, and it's actually not an inflator, it's a compressor.
It's a compressor.
It's a compressor.
There's a big difference.
It's not a pump, it's a compressor. There's actually a cylinder in this that puts the air under pressure. It draws the ambient air from the outside, it pressurizes it, so that when it comes out of the hose, you're getting the full force. And you're getting the whole kit. The lithium-ion battery, you're getting the extension hose on here, you're getting the different inflator tips, and it all comes in a carrying case. Plus, we even give you a cord as well if the battery ever goes dead on you and you need to plug this into your power port, your cigarette lighter, you can. So you're getting all of this today when you buy it, okay? What I want to do, the first thing is we've got all kinds of things here to inflate. I'm going to jump to the front of the table real quick. I want to inflate the tire on a bicycle because you and I were kidding around before the show. I don't know what it is about bicycles, but it's like they know when you're going to ride them.
Seriously.
And the tire goes flat every single time. Now, the neat thing about this is right on the back here is a digital pressure gauge. And we've already set the pressure for the bicycle. So when I hit that button, you're going to see it's illuminated. You see the pressure there. I'm going to pull the trigger, and it's automatically going to start inflating that tire. Now, I'm just going to walk away, okay? Because it has a pressure gauge on it, because I can set the exact pressure that I want, it's going to run until the tire's full. Once the tire's full, it shuts itself off. There's nothing I got to do.
No way.
No, nothing I have to do. You don't have to sit there on your hands and knees and keep, look, done. That quickly it filled that bicycle tire. So now you're out, you're riding, you're enjoying yourself. You didn't have to go to the gas station and take all the bikes over there. Didn't have to yank out the compressor. Really fun, right?
$19.99, because we talked about this before with compressors that, I should say, when you pump up your tires at the gas station, number one, $1.50, $2. You know what else?
Oh.
Those gauges don't work at the garage.
They never work.
They're completely out of whack. How much pressure am I putting in my tire? I have no idea. I've got a digital gauge that's on the back of this.
Right there.
It's giving me 12 volts of rechargeable power.
Right.
Convenient anywhere. I can be out in the middle of nowhere with this in the trunk of my car.
And not waiting for the auto club to come out. No, none of that. And this is what it looks like when you're going to use it, okay? So it looks like a cordless drill, and rightfully so, because underneath here is where the lithium-ion battery fits into the bottom, just like that. And that's totally rechargeable, okay? Right here on board, it stores the tips that you're going to be using. So you're never going to lose these, right?
Do you know how many basketball little nibs I've bought?
Oh, sure.
Because I can never find them on it.
Right.
So I've got probably about 20 of them floating around in a drawer.
And even the hose fits right on top, just like this. So watch what I'm going to do now. I'm going to inflate a couple of these little balls right here, okay? So I'm going to pull this off the top like this. Now, this end fits inside just like this, and all you have to do is just torque this down, okay? You just screw it on there, and that's because there's so much pressure that's coming out of this. You don't want to blow that right out of there. Now, I'm going to take the tip that we use on the athletic balls right here. We're going to just, and notice that screws on too. None of this stuff snaps on, it all screws on, and the reason for that is because of the pressure that comes out of this. We're going to make sure it's on, and I'm going to squeeze the trigger, and watch how fast it fills that ball, okay? Imagine trying to do this. Oh, I know what you're going to go get. Look at that. And we're done. Now, if we had done that with this pump, with the hand pump right here, we'd still be here. Jeff and I, we've been having coffee, we'd be sitting here talking, but that quickly, we got that done.
I talk from experience, okay? I've got a 9-year-old and 7-year-old kid. If you've got grandkids, you've got your own children, you've got neighbours, that sort of thing, the amount of inflatable good, okay? Talk about footballs, basketballs, volleyballs, pool toys, the bikes.
Yep.
I mean, constantly, because they do, as Lou said, particularly when it comes to bikes, They always seem to be deflated.
They're never inflated.
When you want to ride the bike.
Exactly.
$19.98. I mean, instead of doing this back and forth like one of those old-fashioned, you know, on the railway cars trying to move along, $19.98, and I've been corrected. I called it a nib. You guys call them needles.
A needle.
There. Either way, that's why you smiled. Either way, I've got probably 20 of them floating around in a shed somewhere because I get. But now this is built in. They're ready to go. The digital gauge, I think, is everything for me. How about campers, right? People go out camping, right? Blowing up the inflatable bed. Now, of course, unless you've got massive lungs, you don't want to faint every 3 minutes. What a way of being able to get this done.
So this is another pool toy, and I want you to think about how long it would take you because it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But this, look at that. And we're done that quickly. But if we had to sit here and blow this up ourselves, again, Jeff and I would be getting dizzy from trying to inflate this. But because this is portable, because I can take this with me anywhere, that's not going to happen. Let's go over to the other table over here, because I want to show you a couple of other things. Bring that pump with us.
I'll bring the pump.
Well, now, because here's the thing, okay? When you use your air hawk, when you carry it with you, this is how you carry it, okay? It comes in this really nice case right here, okay? So it has a little hook and loop fastener closure on it. Everything fits inside of this, so you've always got it with you. I actually carry one in the back of my Jeep everywhere I go, okay? Because, you know, when that little light comes on that tells you your tires are low, yeah, it's the most annoying thing in the world. And there are other things we could try, and I want to show you some of the things. We showed you already this pump right here, okay? You know, since the Wright brothers owned a bicycle shop, and they did, by the way, this is what they've been using, okay? Right here, this guy, now this is a pump that you can carry around with you, but it's very, very heavy, but it has to be plugged in no matter what you do. Okay. Not to mention the fact that it has an analog pressure gauge on it, okay? Ours is digital. This is very, very inaccurate right here. A lot of people carry these with them, the little cans of compressed air, but you're really only supposed to use these if you've got a hole in the tire and it's dead flat. Plus,
and there's limitations.
Expensive, messy, a lot of problems. Plus, these things always go flat too.
Right, when they're done, they're done.
Yeah.
Right?
You know, you've got your foot pumps, or my favorite right here, the Pancake Compressor. And I actually have one of these in my house, but it's got this crazy cord that's really heavy to drag around. Right. And this guy weighs
a ton.
You're not going to be carrying this with you. This is not going to be something that you're going to use to take out to the bicycle. And by the way, we kid around about this, but this is the pressure gauge, okay? Whenever you go to the gas station, you drop like $1.50 in there. By the way, air is free normally, except at the gas station.
Yeah.
Okay.
How is that?
But if you don't have I don't know. If you don't have a pressure gauge like this with you, guess what, guys? You're never going to know how much pressure you're putting in your tire. Watch the air hawk in action, okay? I'm going to come down here, and we've got a wheelbarrow, and not just a wheelbarrow. We've got a wheelbarrow that's got a couple of bags of river rock inside of it. So there's pressure on this. There's weight on this, okay? The tire is dead flat down here. Look at this thing. You can't get any flatter than that, okay? No. I'm going to turn the air hawk on, and I believe we've already got the pressure set. So watch this. I'm going to press the button, and I'm going to walk away. But I want you to watch how quickly it's going to inflate that. Now, the option is, and how many times has this happened? You put weight in your wheelbarrow or on a dolly or something like that, and then you notice the tire's flat. After you've already loaded it up, you notice the tire's flat.
Look how fast that's going up.
And when it gets to the proper pressure, it's just going to stop all by itself. And that's the beautiful thing about this. I don't have to get down on my hands and knees, hurt my back, hurt my knees, and wait for this to fill. It's just going to do it all by itself. Watch this. And it did that with about 75 pounds of rock sitting on top of it.
And I'm not standing off the side with my pump. Yeah,
exactly. Look, and it stops just like that. Very easy. Now, the real nightmare, though, is over here. When you have a vehicle, okay, and that little light comes on, and so you've either got to go to the gas station and, you know, pay a lot of money and bring your own pressure gauge, or you can use your air hawk right here. Now, this tire is only a couple pounds low, but I just want to show you how easy this is. That's what they call a Schrader valve. So that screws on there. It's not the kind that clips on and falls off. When I press that button, it's immediately starting to fill that. Now, because that's a lithium-ion battery, that's going to last me a really long time. I could do all the tires on the Jeep if I wanted to, but I don't have to. And when that's done, it stops all by itself. There's not a thing that I need to do about this. It's not costing me $1.50 every time I want to do it, you know. And if you think about how much a vehicle like this weighs, this is probably around 3,500 pounds, okay? It has no problem putting the air in that tire because it's a real compressor. It's a real compressor.
And a digital gauge.
An inflator with a digital gauge built into the back right here.
I mean,
it's a great unit.
Seriously, for $60, what an amazing peace of mind. I mean, we talk about these situations where we're in the privacy, comfort of our own home, maybe in the garage, and you're there with, you know, phone, everything. But what about if you're on the side of the road?
Yeah.
What about if you're at the boat ramp and you're trying to get the boat out and the trailer's or at the campsite out in the middle of nowhere? Because remember, they've also included in the AirHawk, they're also including the adapter to plug that into what we used to call the cigarette lighter. Plug it in.
Let's show them that, because here's the thing. Let's just say, for instance, this is what it looks like right here, and here's what you're gonna do, okay? Let's say that, my battery goes flat for some reason, okay? I'm gonna pull that off, and then I just put this on the bottom. It fits exactly the way the battery does, okay? The difference is, inside of this, we have, to walk away from me, because we have an 11...
I'll walk away from you.
Walk away from me, Jeff.
Thanks very much,
Keep going,
Luke.
Jeff. We have an 11-foot cord on this, 11 feet long. So I don't care how big your vehicle is, you can plug this in and use it. But you know what, because we've got that lithium-ion battery that comes with this, chances are the lithium-ion battery is gonna do everything that you need it to do. Now I'm gonna put that back on there, and I'm gonna inflate it to the ball. And I want you to notice, let's say that you're a soccer coach, soccer mom, soccer dad,
man.
take the kids to the game, right? Watch how quickly this will fill the soccer ball. So let's say you've got a whole bag full of these. Maybe you're going to practice, okay?
Right.
And you gotta fill these up. Instead of using some crazy hand pump, look how quickly we can inflate this ball, this volleyball in this case.
New England could have used some of these.
Oh,
For less than $60.
You went there.
I did. One flex pay less than $20 because I often ask the question, and I've only got 2 children. We must have, and I kid you not, a dozen balls in our house. Footballs, volleyballs, basketballs, and you know what? There's no fun with even a semi-deflated ball, right? They don't do what they're supposed to do. Now with this, you get the needles, everything's built in. You got 12 amps, 12 volts, as you say, to make sure. I mean, it is so incredibly fast and incredibly handy. On the back, most importantly, when you're inflating a tire, it's important to know what sort of PSI, pounds per square inch, is in there. You got a digital gauge that's on the back of this. Everything's there, and then
you got
the
things
pool
like,
toys.
well, I mean, if you look at the size of this thing. I mean, this is like one of the biggest pool toys you're ever going to have to inflate. But at the pool, when you're at the house, that's one thing. What about when you're at the beach and you like to deflate these things and put them in your cart when you walk down to the beach, right? So when you get down there, guess what, Dad? Guess what, Mom? You got to blow this up. You can take the AirHawk with you because it has a lithium-ion battery in it, and you can inflate all your pool toys with this because we give you the tip to do that. It's so much better. It's so much faster. It gets the kids in the water having fun just like that.
And you get to relax.
And you get to relax.
There's a concept.
You know.
You get to relax.
Isn't that what the beach is for?
I mean, isn't that, and the other thing too, because again, being a 9 and a 7-year-old kid, they could work this. They could use this. I mean, it's easy. I mean, you go ahead, you put on the hose, you put in the needle.
I'm going to show you
press
this
the button,
one more time.
off you go. Right?
Well, I want to show you what this is going to look like when I stow this away. Okay. So here's the AirHawk itself, right? The hose fits right on top. I love the way they did this because everything snaps into place. So the hose fits right there.
I'm not trying to find it somewhere else.
No, you're not going to lose anything too. And I love that the accessories both fit down here on the bottom. That is so awesome because I'm the guy that's going to lose both of these. Guaranteed.
Absolutely.
I will lose these unless they're attached to the unit. On the back of this right here, that is your pressure gauge, okay? So when I press that button, you're going to see how that lights up. If I want to change the pressure up, I hit the plus button. Down, I hit the minus button, okay? And it's all a digital readout, so there's no guessing on my part. It's not like an analog gauge. I have one compressor at home, one of those portable kind with the cord that plugs into the lighter that has an analog gauge on it. And I know, just because I've had it for a long time, that I've got to overinflate everything by 5 pounds just so it winds up at the right pressure. With this, you don't have to, and I have to sit there and watch it like a hawk. With this, the AirHawk, you don't have to watch like a hawk because that pressure gauge in that takes care of the whole situation. Isn't that good?
I like that. You don't have to watch it like a hawk.
It is a hawk.
Okay, I'll give you 2 personal experiences with deflated tires. Now, just the other day, my wife's car, the warning light came on inside saying the tire was flat or was going down. I got out, looked at it, sure enough, not 1, but 2 screws were in my wife's rear tire. So I quickly pulled into the garage. Quickly pulled in the garage, tried to find change to pump into the machine at $1.50, I think it was.
Who carries change?
And I was on the opposite side. I was calling out to my wife saying, "What does the gauge say?" And she says, "It's not working." I said, "No, kitty, it's not working." Then the other one was when I was driving in Australia. Do you realize how dangerous it is to even drive on a really slightly deflated tire? Not to mention the cost of running, but I actually had a situation where my back left tire was slightly deflated and I spun out. I did a complete 180. So much so that anytime I'm driving in traffic and notice someone's tire slightly deflated, because it's something you don't really realize. I pull over and I tell them, I say, "Hey, you need to put some air in that tire," because I had the frightening experience. The car, I mean, this is peace of mind. Again, I'm a father. I'm a husband. I want to make sure that, yes, all of our toys are inflated.
All the toys work.
Everyone's having fun during springtime and summertime. That's true. But also there's a safety aspect of
well,
this.
Well, no, and that's
right?
a really good point, is that for safety's sake, absolutely, an underinflated tire is dangerous, but also you're spending so much more money for gas because your mileage decreases when your tires are underinflated. Now, for a bicycle, you know, it's not a question of mileage, it's a question of your legs. Because when the tires are underinflated, it just takes so much more effort to make the bicycle move, and especially if it's you, your wife, or your husband, and your kids, and everybody's bicycle tires have to be inflated. The Airhawk really is the only way to go. Let's go back to our table over here for a second. Oh, there's the bicycle tire. I don't know. Did we deflate that?
We deflate it.
Okay, watch this. So we let some air out of this bicycle tire. Watch what I'm going to do. Watch how easy your life could be. All I'm going to do is press the power button right there to turn it on, and then squeeze the trigger. And that automatically starts compressing. Now, people say to me, it's a little loud. You know why? Because it's a real compressor, okay? If it's not making noise, that means there's nothing moving inside of it. This actually has a piston inside of it that takes the ambient air pressure from around it and puts it under pressure. So when it comes out of that hose, it's not just blowing air out of the hose, and it stopped.
But making noise, okay, what's the alternative? It's these lungs, right? And me hitting the ground, that noise, right? I mean, being dizzy. Or the huff and puff of trying to work one of these.
The old-fashioned bicycle pump, old-fashioned bicycle pump right here. You got the foot pumps. I mean, there's a lot of different methods, but they all somehow seem to involve me sweating. And I don't like that. Or
I don't like
then you've got this guy. And I own one of these, and I'm going to tell you right, for my pneumatic tools, this is awesome.
Right.
I love it for that, but if I'm not driving nails with a nail gun, this guy right here is really inconvenient because I don't care how long this hose is, it's not long enough to reach the end of my driveway where my cars are, okay? I got to carry this out to an extension cord.
Look at the size difference. Look at the size difference.
I'm not putting this in my trunk.
No.
This guy, yes. Yeah. This guy, no. Not going to come with me. And that's why the Airhawk is so convenient. It replaces all this stuff here. Plus, you don't need to worry about having a pressure gauge with you all the time. It has one built into it, and it's digital. It's not analog. I want to show you this, okay, just by comparison. I'm going to turn this guy on. What would you rather do? Read the digital gauge that's on the Airhawk right there and set that to the pressure, or have this guy right here, and look at how vague that is. Is it 40 pounds, 50? I can't tell.
Who knows?
Who knows? 35, 32? I don't know. With the Airhawk, I know exactly. Whatever the tire says on my vehicle, the manufacturer recommends, I put that exact number in here, and it fills it to precisely that amount. Look at that. And it's so easy to do because all you do is press plus or minus. Anybody can do that. It's simple.
I love it. Yeah. I mean, I'm sold. $59.95, whether it's for home, whether it's for pleasure, whether it's just peace of mind, whether you go boating, RV, camping. I mean, to have this there.
Air mattresses. Oh, I didn't even talk
about
mattress. That. Oh, my God.
Air mattress.
For the hikers out there.
Oh, my goodness.
This
Seriously,
is light
the
enough
air
you
mattress,
can take it
the
with
digital
you.
gauge, you get everything included in there. You get the needle for pumping up the balls. They're built in, or I should say they're on board.
Yep.
They obviously have the hose there. You, of course, get the battery, which is rechargeable. You also, remember, get, what was it, 11 feet?
11-foot cord.
11-foot cord.
In case you somehow manage to kill the battery on this.
So go ahead, put this on the base, just like you would with the regular battery, and then you plug this into the car, and off you go.
Look at that.
Now, Lou's going to be back at noon as he blows up another ball for us. Lou, thanks very much.
You're very welcome, my friend.